It's Saturday morning, it would be nice to roll your dice, to roll your dice. That's as far as I've got with the sea shanty version of the Saturday, Sunday morning 7 TV thing. I don't think I'll really push going any further with that, not with my melodious singing voice. Morning everybody out in the internet land. We have kind of tried to go for a little bit of a pulp look this morning with the fedora and whatnot. It'll not help, it'll not like improve the quality of what's going to happen, because with no Karl, you know, it's the magic's not there. We've brought like a pretend Karl. We've got a standy for Karl. Look at the wee face and little mug. I brought my mug as well. Morning, Karl. Morning, Andy. How's it going? Great, Karl. Have a good week? I've had a good week, Andy. I'm very tired. I know you are. You should probably just sleep, and I'll just chat through this one, and you just sit back and kind of enjoy it all. Okay, Andy, I'll do that. Yeah, that's kind of the way this morning's going to go. Mostly because I am loaded on painkillers. So this is either going to be the best episode ever, or possibly halfway through, I'll just forget that I'm doing this and kind of stare out into space. Well, it's not space, it's my back garden, but at least it's raining, and I don't feel bad about not being able to go out and fix that. However, if I need a setting for a jungle for a game of Pulp, I am elected. Good morning, Phil. Having leftover birthday pizza for breakfast. The breakfast of kings. I mean, never mind your sugary bowls of wonder. Breakfast pizza. And many happy returns on being 21 again, I guess. You know what? You should treat yourself, Phil, and buy yourself something from Crooked Dice for your birthday, because, you know, it's like a law, I think. As far as I know, you're just allowed to do that. You're allowed to just go crazy on your birthday. Aren't you? Yeah, probably. Mine's, according to Facebook, is coming soon. And as I said on Facebook when it came up with this message, you know, hey, Andy, it's your birthday soon. Thought, right, so your definition of soon is much the same as my mum sitting in the car with me, grabbing the door handle and shouting, watch out for that cat! What cat? Well, about 4 streets up here, there's a cat, lives at the house in the corner, and it's always in the garden, and it sits near the edge of the road. Okay. Yeah, it's not that soon. What type of pizza? That's important though. What is it? I mean, is it like vegetarian pizza? Because that's bound to be manky for leftovers. Surely you need the goodness of cold meat. I wish I'd done that already. Yeah. Ah well, you can always spend more, because we'll always earn more somehow from somewhere. I don't know. The choices of earning money these days are slowly diminishing. But there we go. All I can hear, by the way, is the creaking of this seldom worn snake buckskin jacket. And if it's too loud for you guys, let me know. I'll take it off. Strip show 7 TV. No, let's not do strip show 7 TV. That would be bad. Good morning, Graham. It's me, Bill. There we go. That's my faith in humanity is restored. That you're having a meat breakfast pizza. There we go. World's a better place. Talking about the world being a better place. This was a weird one. Do you ever block things from your mind? What's this got to do with 7 TV? Nothing. Okay, bear with me. But do you ever block things just from your mind because, I don't know, for various reasons, I guess. Selective amnesia. I was tidying up boxes of stuff, kind of in preparation for today, digging through bits and pieces, because when Karl's on with me, it's kind of handy, because Karl and I have a little chat beforehand, like days beforehand, okay, sometimes minutes beforehand, and we have a loose premise of what we need to do, and I organise photographs and all the rest of it, and chit-chat and things, and we talk about cartoons we've watched recently or movies. But since they didn't know Karl, hello Cardboard Karl, I just had to tidy up some stuff, because I know this is presented as some sort of well-oiled, well-planned machine in the mornings. I assure you, I am surrounded by a sea of living hell. This is chaos around me. It's just board games and boxes of games and please review this. No, that's not how we work. We can't be arsed doing that sort of thing unless it's really shiny. But yeah, I found my old Games Workshop manager badge in one of the boxes. And yeah, that brought back some memories that were really well suppressed. So there we go. I'm now going to keep it as a keepsake of it's okay to make mistakes as long as you grow from them, or something like that. What's Graham got to say? Snake Plissken, I heard you were dead. Trust me, if it wasn't for Burf and Retard this morning, I possibly would be. That and copious amounts of iced coffee, and hot coffee, and lots of water. I don't know why water reminded me of this. We should really, I suppose, do something 7TV-ish. You know, I mean, there's a box of Pulp sitting here, and there's some stuff. Let's kick off, since we don't have Karl, and only me to blame for us not staying on target, let's kick off with finding where the control screen's gone. That would be a good start. And calling up the new releases. I have to say this, I don't know about you guys and girls, but this is one of the things, good morning David, good morning. This is one of the things that I have always adored about what Karl and Crooked Dice do. And that simple fact is grassroots support. You know, there's none of us, I think, can kind of, we can argue that he doesn't always bring out all the miniatures we want when we want them, but we can't argue the fact that he keeps bringing out more minis and supporting the ranges, be it back to the days of Spy-Fi TV, be it Apocalypse, be it Pulp, and already we can see from the new releases that are piling out, Fantasy is literally, when Fantasy lands, we've no excuse not to have Forces casts already painted and pristine, because dear Lord, he is churning them out half and heavy. There's the effects starting to kick in. More caffeine, Andy. But yeah, these ones are for the Fantasy. And I love them, gotta say. I'm not allowed to show you because I don't think he's shown it yet based on our last conversation. But the Mercenaries for Hire are done, and I've seen them, and they're lovely. They're lovely. I want them, all of them. Well, there's only 4 of them, but I want them. Somewhere I have a van. Somewhere I have a van, because I've got the car for my paranormal investigators. Who are you going to call? So now, if you've got a problem and nobody else can help, and if you can paint them, maybe you can use the cast of the Atrium, which is bloody brilliant. Yes. So they will get shown out in due course. Morning, Jez. Good morning. Those Griffin type ones are aren't they? Aren't they? The sort of the Griffin Riders, they're like a. Sorry, that was important. I think it's broken. Oh well. I'll buy another one. It's only the portrait of my mother. Yeah, I mean, as soon as I seen those back in the dark days, I had a start of a rather nice little force of Imperial Guard on Cold Ones. So it was Talaran Rough Riders on Cold Ones, and as soon as I seen them, I went, I used to have those, and then somebody stole them in the figure case from GW in Dublin, and I never got to do them. Now, of course, I can. And I had to tell Bob, because Bob's just nuts about the Imperial Guard. So I dare say that he'll probably end up buying 60 of them, because he doesn't seem to have any concept of how many figures are supposed to be in a unit or a squad. He just goes, oh, I like those. I'll have 30 of everything. Are you playing Fantasy? No, I'm playing Imperial Guard. Oh, right. So you're just starting with 30. And then you'll get the rest of the force. So no, they're nice. The Witcher style guy, I could go on to the Facebook page and get all the proper names, but let's face it, there's none of us really stick to Karl's names for these things. We look at them and between ourselves snigger and go 18. Witcher and stuff like that there, other than the ones that are made up. But I had a point to this. Yeah, the point is support, and it's just lovely to see. I mean, we've all got to remember this is literally one dude in his shed above the garage. It's a nice shed. And it's just this constant stream. I mean, bear in mind these and the Mercenaries on top of a Kickstarter, on top of working on developing fantasy and supporting everything else and running the business and getting all our toys posted out to us. It's just lovely. And if other companies could manage that with their 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 members of staff, wouldn't it be great? But yeah, and it's the fact that you don't even need Karl's minis for his game. He knows. You've said it yourself, haven't you, Karl?
Yes, Andy, I have. You don't need my minis. I just supply them because I like them.
That's right. But we like them too, and that's why we buy them all. That's why I've got a bucket of shame over there that really is just not good. But it brings me small amounts of happiness. And even with that, still doing mad things like just going to kill this picture. Been 3D printing stuff recently. I know Karl and I chat about the whole 3D printing, you know. It's going to be like the end of civilization and stuff. It's not really, because we're all too lazy. But yeah, been 3D printing some stuff. So I'll drop those pictures off the screen. And I didn't bring the rest of them with me actually. But one that I've been working on, and this one is a Black Site Studio, and it's not Decker from Blade Runner. I'm pretty sure it's not him. It really is, but that's lovely. Now, okay, it took a couple of goes to get them printed and printed right, along with Goff and Rachel and the Eye Farmer and things like that. They are about somewhere. Didn't really think that. Oh, there's Goff. Yeah, there's Goff. So there's Goff as well. He's even got his little walking stick and stuff. Recently seen the deleted scene where he's like sitting watching Deckard have the chat with Holden in ICU or whatever. I'm kind of glad they left that out, but it did give his character a bit more depth. That was nice. My best bit of 3D printing recently though, and it's still awful. But some of you 7TVers will appreciate this one. Do you know what it is yet? Ignore the I haven't cleaned off all the spare resin part of it yet. But yeah, it's my little Galileo shuttle. I'm almost tempted to not bother putting the legs onto it, but have to do that. They need a bit more cleanup. That's like the landing struts for it, and it's little warp in the sails or engines, ion engines or whatever they are. Something. It's tricky. MacGuffins. So there we go. So that'll be getting painted up and joining my cast of thousands. Anyone else really got the problem with having more miniatures than they're realistically ever going to need? It's not just me. It is us all, isn't it? I mean, what 7TV? We need a couple of casts. We need like maybe 10, 14 models tops, even with swap outs, and yet we've got figure cases full of them. I blame you, Karl.
I know, Andy. It's a shame I carry with me.
I know you do. But you look after, so we'll forgive you for it. 3D printing is the new socially distance maintained pastime for geeks. Yeah, it is. It is rapidly becoming that weird thing that we do. And everyone's kind of having a dabble at it. If they're not printing something themselves, they're getting somebody else to print it. Hey, you've got a 3D printer. Knock me off some stuff. Knock me off some terrain. Whatever. The only other weird thing that I've printed lately, I've just knocked that over again. I really got to stop moving or move cleverer. That's another wee yoke that I printed out recently. Don't know if you can see that. Because some of you might be aware I've got a little bit of a thing for Resident Evil as well. So this is the Stars badge. But it's not just the Stars badge. Isn't it, Andy? It looks just like the Stars badge. No, because if I'd done it right, I can put a USB stick in there, just like in the game. And then I can stick that into my computer and have this huge, heavy resin object weighing down on my USB port. No, I'm just going to drill a couple of holes in it, put magnets on it, and stick it in a leather wallet, and it'll do lovely as a prop for one of my costumes. There we go. Yes, it is rather cool. Yes, no, it is. The shuttle. I presume it's just talking about the shuttle. Yeah, it's got a Thingiverse. It's going. Now, the file, this is the weird thing about the 3. I don't kind of pretend to understand all this stuff yet. When I got the file, it's a multi-part file, but it's tiny. You stick it into the. I thought, oh, this is going to be rough when I enlarge it, so I made it bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh, it's got all the details, and it's got ridiculous amounts of details, and it's like 20 parts. What's going on here? And then you have to try and figure out in your head, when I print this, you've been doing this on a different type of printer that's needed it done this way, so what bit do I not need to print? Because there was like loads of bits here at the engine for like little, because his idea was that this is designed that each part's printed in a different coloured filament or whatever. So there was like all the pieces that go in behind here, but I realised that, well, I just need to paint that. I only need one. So this is kind of wafer thin covering on here, and then the little doors and hatches all came out, and there was even little bits for the windows to do in like clear acrylic and stuff like that. No, I just need to paint it kind of off-white, put a stripe on it, and that'll sit in the corner of the table for most of the game as a giant MacGuffin. Get to the shuttle! So yeah, you got to figure out all that kind of stuff. I only buy new minis if I've painted everything black. No, I don't. Not a single. Love it. Not enough room in the house for my pile of shame. It's now in the shed, a shed of shame, and it's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, someday, when I feel that we've bonded better, I will stick the camera on to like the long lead, and even just this room that I'm working in lockdown, I'll pan around, but I'll take a couple of photographs of the garage. Yeah. God help anyone if I pop my cogs before I've got this place tidied up, because it's just not good. Honestly, it's just bad. From sitting right here, I'm looking at Jaws, Century Spice Road, Parks the expansion, D&D starter set, 8-bit attack, Startropolis, Salem, Star Trek Flux, Botanists, Azul, if I move my head, what am I going to look at? Top Gun, expansion for Azul, Doctor Who miniatures game, The Walking Dead, 4 massive bits of MDF terrain, all the painting stuff, 2 3D printers. I don't even know what's in that. I don't even remember that box being there. I don't know what. Flocks. That's literally a storage box filled with flocks and grass and stuff that I hadn't even known was there. I don't mean I hadn't known it was there. When I first brought it into here, I didn't know I had it. That's what I mean. And now I've instantly forgotten it until I just looked at it there again, like blotting out all those years for Games Workshop. Anyway, sorry. You see, this is the danger of medicated Andy. It kind of goes a bit off track. Right, I'm sure there was something else we were supposed to talk about. Unless there's something you want to talk about. No? Well, you'll probably catch up, because I think what I'm asking you comes along about a minute or two later for yous. Sorry. That's why sometimes you'll say a funny thing and it's like 5 minutes later before I laugh at it. Because internet, it's not instant. It's not like transporters and teleporters and stuff like that there. Pulp. Shall we talk about Pulp a little bit? Oh, what's this? David Brashaw. Bar the writers of Rohan and Frodo. Don't know who they are. I have all the minis. Oh, from Lord of the Rings. Right, okay. Magazines to paint. Perhaps I should make a start. Well, I mean, David, don't rush into anything. That's important. I mean, how many years have you had them? Because I think there is a traditional kind of waiting period or grace period, we call it in the hobby, where you buy a thing because you need it now before you just gotta have it, and then you get it, but it goes into the strata of other things that you needed to get now and have it. And I think quite often it's anything up to 25 years after you've acquired a miniature before you're required to sort of open it and go, I wonder should I undercoat this? And then you get to spend about a week deciding, black undercoat, grey undercoat, white undercoat, spray can or airbrush? I know. I'll make a coffee and think about that. And then about a month later, you can make a start on, like, you know, a green on it, or maybe some flesh. Yeah, well, I can game with it now. It's got a colour on it. Yes, we've all been there. We've all been there. Yeah, someday we'll dig out. I mean, I know there's folks amongst you lot that have vastly more numbers of minis than me, both unpainted and painted. But short of you coming on and doing a show and tell, which we can make that happen, I'm left with just digging out my crap and showing you that, which, yeah, I'll do that today. I'm just casually looking around in case there was something to hand. But there's not. I tend to put all the painted things away so that they don't get chipped. Because once they're painted, of course, then you've got the 3 or 4 month period before you decide to varnish them. Spray varnish, brush on varnish, gloss varnish, matte varnish. Which brand of varnish? Why is my miniature gone white? Ah, and all that kind of stuff. Pulp. Let's segue back. I hear you, Carl. We're getting back to pulp now. Kill your jets. It's still probably very much the case that for some people of a certain age, I'm not sure what that age is, but for some people of a certain age, what is pulp is still a question. And not everyone wants to wade through hours and hours of the old glorious Flash Gordon, Rocketeer, things like that there. So I was having a little Jeff joke at what the Tinternet considers modern pulp films. Somewhere I've got it here. There we go. Sorry, Carl, we're going to cover your face a moment. I'm not sure that in all respects I agree with what the internet has offered up. I think we can all agree in some respects it has hit the nail in the head. And 90s indies band. 90s indie band? I'm going to guess that relates to the Riders of Rohan. Anyway, moving back. So Sky Captain the World Tomorrow. Yeah, I'll quite happily take that one as a pulp film. That makes sense to me. The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, I think in space or something like that there. I've got to confess, I have no idea what that is, but I'm intrigued and I intend to find out. Raffles, yes, it kind of fits in. FX, I remember watching FX. I don't know, is that pulp? It didn't strike me as being particularly pulp. The Shooting I haven't watched. The Licorice Quartet. Whilst I'll kind of tempted to say it's pulp, I don't think they understood what I meant by my question, and we're going to just skim over that one. But we might go back to look at it later. Of course, the Phantom, slam evil. You can't get much more pulp than the Phantom. Is probably like amongst the first pulp. Yeah, Pulp Fiction, again, internet, just don't latch on the word. You've got to look at the meaning behind the word that I'm asking. The Shadow, of course, right up there. And Doc Savage, even though it's awful. It's just so bad. So bad. So yeah, there's some modern choices that, yes, you could play with there, I suppose. But we might be better ignoring some of them as well. Or just, bite the bullet, go back, watch some old stuff. This message is held for review. Okay, show me the message, because you must have used a naughty word. It's not show me your message. Ah, right, it's done that whole thing like Philip K. Dick. Yeah, okay, well, we'll show your message, because Pulp, Jarvis, Cocker, and all that. You're right. Yes, the Mummy. Yes, Mummy's right up there. Why isn't the Mummy in Google's list? Why didn't it offer up the Mummy as a prime example? So yeah, we can go and we can watch all that. But of course, the joy of Pulp is that Pulp is a style. It's not just the shows and the films that were made. We go, that's Pulp. That's all you get. Go away. Because the joy of the Pulp set is that this is going to give us the structure to apply a pulp setting to whatever we want. Do we want pulpish zombies? Do we want pulpish Star Trek? Do we want pulpish the A-Team? Yes, we do. Hell yes, of course we do. Robots and Sky Captain for the win. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some people dissed Sky Captain. It's the same as that other one. Sucker Punch. Isn't it Sucker Punch? I think it's Sucker Punch. Now, I have issue with some of the portrayals in it, and I think the female cast are pretty much sold as two-dimensional characters. But in the kind of wider span of the visuals of that film, there's some elements that tick in nicely to the whole pulp sort of thing as well. Buckaroo Banzai is an 80s homage to Doc Savage with aliens. Right. Sold. That sells it. Because I don't like the Doc Savage film, but I do like Doc Savage. I've read some of the comics, I've read some of the books. I do like that. So, Doc Savage with aliens, yes. I'll buy that for $1. Thank you very much, Graham. I will be having a look at that today. Probably. If I don't fall asleep, we'll have to go and see my mammy. She'll be up by now, so there we go. I can ring her after this and go, Happy Mother's Day to you. Or some other song. I don't think there is really a official Mother's Day song. Yeah. Anyway, bar of Vase and a bottle of wine. What else do you do? Oh, that's got cold. Yeah. Okay, you see, cold coffee, not good. Unless it's actually supposed to be cold. In which case it's fine. Totally different flavour. There we are. Now, one of the things that we should say, if you are sitting out there and you're kind of one of the three people who doesn't know about Pulp and doesn't know how to play it, Crooked Dice, thanks to Edge Hill University, have already done a very nice video. It's not without flaws, but they fixed the flaws, and you will find that on the, what's that word I'm looking for? YouTube, yes. There we go. Well, there we go now. You'll see it in a moment. But yeah, Edge Hill University done a very nice little how to play on Pulp TV. And it is definitely worth a little look out, and give it a little like this. Clunk, just like that, you see? I've just done that to show you how easy it is to like a video. Okay? And of course, when you're there, you can also subscribe. You'll notice I have subscribed. It's really easy. You just click the button. But yeah, the guys and girls do a great wee job in this video. They run through pretty much an entire game, and all the key aspects of how it comes into play are delivered. So do, if you haven't watched it already, give it a wee burl, because it's like a wee moral hug for them as well, that they know other people have watched it. I can't believe it, only 65 people have. Well, no. There you go. See, 1,979 views. That's nice. That's very nice. 65 likes. So 1,979 people watched that video for long enough for YouTube to go, I see you've watched the film. I shall let the makers know that you have watched the movie, to give them some moral support. But 65 people could be bothered to click like. Maybe they didn't like it. They didn't click dislike. Suppose that's another way of looking at it, innit? Daniel O'Donnell has probably done one. Or Owen, yeah, I just, now that you've reminded me of those names, yeah, as opposed to having done a mother film, it's not that kind of show, lad. Yes. So no, do go and watch it, and click like. Let Karl and the guys at the uni know that you actually liked it, or at least didn't not like it. There, that's the other way to view that. Right, enough of that. Away you go. I can't remember which one it was. There's too many buttons for me to press. I could press them all. Let's press that one. That was the right button. Winner! You, young student person, stop looking at me and talking at me in silence. It's off-putting, and I don't need the put off. That's what she said. Right. We've kind of, sorry about that loud bang, we've kind of already looked inside Pulp TV. And the Edge Hill video, I mean, there's no point in me really sitting here going, here's how you play Pulp TV. No, go and watch that video. There's how you play Pulp TV. But for I suppose the nuts who still like to see things, there is the amount of profile cards that comes in Pulp TV. And this is the one thing Karl and I always chat about that seems to be the bugbear for most people. This is the mental hurdle that you have to kind of jump over first, which is, let's take the Tribal Witch Doctor as an example. In most gaming communities, this stat card refers to this model. Therefore, you look about your collection and go, I do not own this model. I only own this model. I cannot play. Darn it, and to hoot, I don't like figure wrapping. But as Karl keeps trying to tell you, and as we keep trying to tell you, and as you need to tell your friends, the photographs on all the profile cards merely are representative, because it would be boring without a picture. It's also a fantastic way to advertise your miniatures when, you know, you pay your mortgage from making and selling miniatures. What a fantastic way to be allowed to show those miniatures off than to put pictures of them on the products you hand to people. So you can quite happily decide that your tribal warrior for this game is being represented by this model from your collection. Because it's only you who has to remember that that's the tribal warrior. Once he's on the table and your mate says, oh, what's that you're moving? I'm moving my tribal warrior, thank you very much. Oh, very good. I noticed that you didn't put down your activation token. Oh, you're quite right. I will miss that and do that straight away. Thank you for reminding me so much. Where are my tokens? So yeah, these are the concepts of the characters. These are all the genre archetypes. And the miniatures you employ are the miniatures you like. I mean, that's what the game's practically telling you. You love minis. You've painted your minis. Use your minis. We're not telling you, no, you can't. You can't bring those miniatures into our store and play our game with those miniatures that are not ours. No, Karl really doesn't care. He says, go crazy, go wild. You want to use giant 6-foot-tall robots? Probably not going to be a very big game, and it's going to be hard to find an opponent. You want to use 28mm shiny metal robots as your mechanical when you try to give a stupid example and karma delivers you an appropriate example. Let's try that again. You want to use 28mm mechanical shiny robots as your acolyte? Go for it. Nobody's going to tell you off. Nobody that matters is going to tell you off, because you can just tell them to sort off politely. You want your VIP to be a BA Baracus figure. No problem. He can be your VIP figure. You want your deckhand to be a US Marine miniature. That's fine too. If you can remember who all these people are and what they're doing, that's your call. Go for it. It's all cool. So yeah, miniatures. Use who you want. Let them be who you need. That's like a slogan we could put on a t-shirt or something, maybe. I don't know. We're still waiting on the first t-shirt. The structure of the game, working on the cliffhanger cards, is one of the glorious little aspects of this that I think really stops this just being a slogfest. You know that we've all done. We've all played the game where I line up my force, you line up your force. We've got a scenario, we've got objectives on the board, and then we spend 3 hours blowing blue blazes out at each other, rolling dice, and trying to whittle each other down to the last man. And then go, oh well, I won on points because I killed more of you people. Oh, wake me up when you die. So the cliffhanger card mechanic drives the game forward with cool things happening every time out of your control. Stuff happens. Get to move terrain, get to move miniatures, costume, people leave, people fall down, people get on, weird stuff goes on. There we go. I even use my crooked dice miniatures in other games. I know. Some other games would go, no, you can't do that. Crooked Dice says, bring me, you're tired, you're hungry, you're unpainted, and just enjoy playing 7TV. So yeah, depending on how big a cast you're going for, what size of game you're going for, you select any number, a certain number. There's like a table for it, of Act 1, Act 2, and finale cards. And then each turn you're flipping one of those over. So something exciting's happening that you and your mate can't dispute. You can't argue over it. You can't go, oh, you know, no, there it is. That's what's happening. There, we're doing that. That's a cool thing. It really messes with my plan. Oh, it really helps my plan. Cool. It drives the story and it gives that drama. And they're kind of tailored to the flow of the story. And it's, you know, again, for those of us who are still new to this or haven't dipped the toe, so to speak, it's that bit where the initial part is the film's already on. Act 1, oh, we're coming up to the climax. Act 2, we're having the big fight, the big drama part. Act 3, oh, the cliffhanger, what happens next, but who's won at this precise moment? And that's where it's all kind of awesome. They're a lot of fun. And obviously for Pulp, as opposed to the other ones, these do more things. JS Hunt, are there solo rules? Yes. Yes is the simple answer. I haven't used them. The likes probably of Graham can dive in and throw out a far better answer. As far as I know, the solo rules are on the Crooked Dice website, and whilst I'm talking to you and making it look like I'm engaging and paying close attention, what I'm actually doing is trying to type without looking and call up the Crooked Dice website so that I can check if that's true. So I'm going to have to look because I can't spell crooked. Don't write Crooked Dice website, you tonka toy. Because goodness knows what Google will throw at me today. So whilst we're perusing, I will do that. The gadget cards and the MacGuffin cards, throw them up there, and you just talk about them amongst yourselves. So where are we? I'm just trying to find this for you. Our games. Because if I can kind of give you half an answer, then that'll be kind of useful to you, wouldn't it? It would almost be like I helped. It's that long for my views websites probably because Carl, I need this stuff. Just tell me how much. Yeah, but it's not that you never tried them though, Graham. It's that I'm right. There are actually solo rules, and so I'm just trying to find them here for Jez, because if we can actually get the big lad the link, then we are sucking diesel, which is a good thing, metaphorically. Where are our rules? Just talk amongst yourselves there, guys and girls. PDFs, let's see, I think it might be in here. Set designer, that's nice. Vlad's army. I'm not finding it. There is the basic rules that you can download. Not having much success, but that is more down to me being a clumpet than anything else. Well, there's Survivor Horror Solo Rules, 2nd edition rules and cards. External archives, that's all their fan-made cards and things like that. Now, does that take me where I need? There's Apocalypse Survival Horror Solo Play Rules. So I suppose you could take a look at that because the core rules remain the same throughout all the genres. It's basically the types of cards that you use. Both the cliffhanger cards, the gadget cards, the MacGuffin cards, and pretty much the profile cards. There's different sets within each genre. But in saying that, everything is fudgeable. It just needs a little bit of to make it all go together for you. So yeah, they are on there. but you're just going to have a bit of a hunt. If Karl was here, he would just go, oh yeah, you want the solar rules, they're at this link, and off you go, and just enjoy yourself. So yeah, they are on there. Has anyone watched The Terror and what's the verdict? I've watched the first episode. Seems to be a bit of a slow burner. Yeah, that's the newish one. I have it downloaded to watch it. I just haven't got round to actually watching it yet. What I've heard from everyone who has seen it fully so far is they've all loved it and felt the monster really wasn't necessary. Is that a spoiler? I don't know. I think we all know going into this that there's a thing, essentially. Yeah, it's supposed to be good. And everyone has sort of said, oh, it's awesome. You know, the characters and the story and all. It didn't need to do what it done. It would have still been good. So, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm just sorry, Jez, that I'm literally not firing you a link here to go. There you go, Jez. Go and download this and play. Right, in the store under rules. Surely that's just going to be the buyable rules. Starter cast, second edition. No, Monster David, I was just making that bit up just to kind of lure you into a false sense of security. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to have a bit of hunt on there, Jess, or fire Karl a wee message, just to get the exact link. But it's there. There is short answer. Yes, there is solar rules. None of us have actually. Some of us will have, but not many of us have actually used them. Sorry. So yeah, the MacGuffin cards. I think we all know what a MacGuffin is by now. But again, these ones kind of fit the bill for Pulp. Death rays and glowing briefcases and stuff like that. And the MacGuffins are another token. So you're going to have your standard tokens on the board. If you can watch that video that I linked you earlier on, you'll be able to watch that. But the tokens really make a difference because they reward you there and then in playing 7TV for getting more activation tokens there and then. And the MacGuffin one kind of is like a swing the balance one for that. It's like the Uber one. So yeah, you can run around milling your opponent's miniatures and taking them out. But if they've already gone around and collected the objective tokens and captured the MacGuffin and actually played the story, they might all be dead, but when the tally is done, you could discover that you've still lost because it's a story. It's a boring pulp film. It's a boring apocalypse film. If it's just a standard tabletop game of run around and shoot each other, I've killed most, I won. Doesn't work in 7TV. Can work if you're quick, but it doesn't give you the same fulfillment as literally using the tools that you've been handed to go and have mad fun. I'm also particularly fond, obviously, as I'm sure many of you are, of the unit cards, because when you get to activate your squad leaders and stuff, they can do cool stuff for you and send the rest of the team hurtling forward to do nice things. And though they are cannon fodder, they will die in their droves, as good essentially minions should. They can swing the balance, and they do get you a little bit of points going too. And then of course we've got the peril cards this time round. So when you get things like your MacGuffin, you have to reveal peril cards, and bad things happen, like giant concrete boulders come rolling out of nowhere. They don't really. You don't need to have a big concrete boulder and literally hurl at your miniatures. It's assumed off camera in your head, imagination and stuff like that there. And those add a really cool edge to it all too. So it is beautiful. This is probably the closest I come to experiencing a role-playing game with miniatures that isn't a miniatures game. I'm not explaining that well. A lot of people play role-playing games. They're fun. A lot of people play role-playing games using miniatures. And it becomes a focus about the miniature and the numbers and not the story. With me so far. 7TV is a miniatures game, but because of its mechanics, it emphasizes the story. So you are getting to play your miniatures game with your little miniatures, doing the cool miniatures thing, all about the numbers, but getting a story reward on the back end of it, and I think,
Not as glorious.
The Terror Season 1 is really good, Season 2 is not so good. Okay, Alan, I didn't realise there was a Season 2. I thought this was like a one-off drama thing. That's what I was wanting and looking forward to. Now you've caused me concern. I will reserve final judgment until I actually get to see it. So there we go. Do you know what? Even without Karl, I know you're there, Karl, but you know, you're a shadow of your former self. One of the wee things, this is just incidental. This is like, if you want, we all love dice boxes and dice bags and dice. I mean, I'm sure you guys and girls are the exact same as me, and it's like, oh, I've got a spare pound in my pocket, I'll buy a die. One of the things that I have always been meaning to get round to is kind of something 7TV-ish for my dice. Makes sense. You kind of want something thematic. Or my tokens. I mean, there's loads of tokens. Even these unpunched, unused tokens as yet for Pulp, because I used tokens I've already got. And I like the smell of burnt wood. It's fading now though. The smell of paper's taking over. What about one of these? For putting your dice and your tokens in. Huh? That's my cunning plan. It's a grenade. It's not really a grenade. Don't panic, YouTube. Don't panic. We're not encouraging terrorism. It's just a plastic grenade from the grenade company. I'm not sure. Is that advertising? Hey, if you want to send me some free grenade stuff, that's awesome, because you make great plastic grenades that are really useful. Because we can literally open this up and we can put in it. Look. Do you want to put your MacGuffin cards into it? I'm going to keep my MacGuffin cards in a grenade. Do you want to put your tokens in? Let's do it. Let's do it now. Let's sacrifice the unpunched tokens and see, do they fit in this strange container that Andy's offering us as an option? And it's thematically tied into both Apocalypse and Spy-Fi TV and Pulp, because in all those settings we use grenades. Why, yes. Though I think I will paint these tokens. The plain wood's very nice, but I like colour. Life's better in colour. Sorry for anyone that's monochromatic, but you know, you're missing out. Sorry. Unless you're watching black and white films. In fact, if you're monochromatic, Pulp's perfect for you, because everything that really matters to watch for points of reference is in black and white. So there you go. There's a silver lining to every cloud. Or, you know, it's the slightly less black lining. There we go. That's really dusty. Look. They all fitted in with room for more. My goodness, I could put tokens and dice. Let's just go wild. What do you say? Let's put the dice in as well. They fitted. They fat. They fitted. Let's put the activation tokens in too. They went in as well. Push the boundaries of reason and rationale. Let's put in the tape measure. It went in. Can we put in the MacGuffin cards too? Just about. Oh, there's room at the top. Can we put in the gadget cards as well? Yes. Can we put in the cliffhanger cards? What am I even doing anymore? I think if we do it this way round. Look at that. Look at that. Awesome or what? Let's play 7TV. But Andy, where's your dice, your tokens, and your tape measure, and your MacGuffin cards, and your cliffhanger cards, and your gadget cards? They're all in this. I'm ready to blow this game apart. Dude, you've no idea about my garage, and if that was going to happen, it would have already happened by now. Trust me. But I appreciate your concern, but I'm ready for them. Oh yes, I'm ready for them. So there we go. Like you can't be too bad at that. So we've got our tape measure. We've got all of our small cards. And we've all our tokens and dice and activation counters. And there was probably still room for a pencil. Don't need a pencil. Well, we need a white dry marker. Yeah, because you have to be able to mark off your health on your cards. So a white dry marker, but one of them little ones. And we tiny ones that comes with like notice boards that you get in like discount stores. So there we go. Guys and girls, that's like 50 minutes of my life and yours. I deeply appreciate you sharing it with me. So yeah, that I think is a cool container for those things. Though try and find a health freak mate rather than having to run out and buy one, because like the bottle of tablets for Grenade are like 28 quid or something in Argos, and they're like 30 quid or something in Tesco's. I think I'm allowed to say places like that because it's not like an advert. I'm reporting a fact. I've got 2 of them, fortunately. I have friends who spend money on silly things. But yeah, I mean, Grenade, awesome containers. If you want to send us some more, that would be absolutely epic. We could make severe use out of just empty ones of these. If you want to send us ones with the weird green tablets with green tea in them, go for it. We're not proud. We'll take those. It's been compelling. Been called many things in my time, Jess, but compelling hasn't been one of them, other than the compulsion to leave now. So there we go. We look forward to hearing from you folks about your games of Pulp, about your solo games, Jez. I mean, there, Jez. There's a challenge for you, good sir, if you're up for it. Dig out those solo rules, get a play, fire us in a report of it, let us know, send us some photographs, give us a little blurb. Heck, maybe come on next week and chat about having played solo if you want. I'm not proud, I'll chat to anybody. Well, not anybody. Most people, some people, a few people. 1 or 2 people. I'll see first. I'll decide on the day. That's kind of how it works. But you folks, have a great day. Don't forget, if you can, and if it's appropriate, it's Mother's Day, so give a shout out, both to all the mums that are still with us and the mums that are sadly not. But there we go. Hopefully that's passed a bit of a morning for you. Thanks very much for joining us. It has lifted my spirits. Either that or the painkillers have finally kicked in. Yes. Don't forget to give us a subscribe. Don't forget to give us a share, folks. Seriously. I should actually say that we have finally crested over 300 once again on the new YouTube channel. Thank you very much for all of you who have helped with that as well. It is deeply appreciated. Onwards and upwards, we will try and keep adding more stuff to it and doing more things to entertain you in different ways, not just crooked dice. And it's deeply appreciated, every little bit that you can do to help it get out there and spread the good word and a bit of positivity and cheer. With all goes a long way to making us feel like we're doing our bit as well. So yeah, 329 or 330 I think we're at, which is lovely, and it's nice to finally be back up into those kind of numbers, and the Facebook's going up too. So we shall try and keep at it. We should try and keep it cheerful. Yeah, the coffee definitely does help, David. It doesn't do any harm. Right, off you go. I'm going to run the credits. Yeah, that's it. Don't need to thank yous again. Yous are all lovely and love every single one of yous in a special way. Right, off yous go and have a great day, folks. Bye-bye for now.